Hello.
Hi, America.
Welcome to Angel and the Wiz Show 102 and counting. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and she's been here 2 years. 2 years of shows. Showing up, and every time, dependable, reliable for 2 years. And she's a girl. But he became, yes, but that same Rob Reiner became a director.
Yeah, a well-respected director.
A well-respected director, and I really wanted to just say, while in his film American President, he does something that in the old days they never did, and that was this. In the old days when they made...
the one with Michael Douglas and Annette Bening?
Yes, Annette Bening.
Okay.
When in the old days when they made a political drama, they never ID'd the parties. There was just this party and the other party, and they referred to them back and forth, and how does your party feel about this, blah, blah, blah. And in this one, they had a chance, and they used Republican.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessary to do that, because they have a beautiful love story. You know, it's a beautiful story. You don't have to get, you don't have, that, it's just that one little thing. You didn't have to take that step. Because it's a great film. He's got great music, and I wanted to applaud his work. Sleepless in Seattle is his, too. And it's just a beautiful film.
I liked American President. That's
me
one of
too.
my
I love
favorite
it.
movies. I shouldn't say one of my... I just really like it.
No, me too.
I have it on DVD. I should watch it maybe later tomorrow.
I have it on DVD, too, it's just a beautiful story. It's nice how it all works and everything else like that. And sure, there's some conflict. If there wasn't a conflict, it was they're trying to make one party look bad. They don't have to be Republicans or Democrats. They could be the Whigs and the Tories. You know what I mean? We don't need the name.
You know what is interesting? Two ways to talk about with TV, and that was man, what was that called?
Well, is it a show?
Yeah, it's a TV show.
Oh.
Anyway, there's the one that had... I can't even think of it now.
Okay. Well.
Keep going.
Okay, well then let me just...
Sorry.
So the point that I was trying to make is that I wanted to say kudos to Rob Reiner. Okay, I take my hat off to you. I only seen those couple of films. I might have seen more than I don't remember what.
West Wing.
Oh, West Wing, yeah.
West Wing was a
Alan
good show.
Sorkin.
Yeah, that was a good show.
But they were also too heavy-handed on this Republican-Democrat.
Yeah, they were Democrats, Republicans. It was very...
and it was heavy-handed.
It was very heavy-handed, and and I guess looking at who the writer-creator was, it kind of makes sense. But what I liked that they did is that they very quickly handled similar real-world situations in the show.
That's right.
And
half the country thinks that's what really happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's sad.
But the reaction, but what was interesting was how they reacted on the TV was similar to what the real world reaction was. Like they didn't stray.
Right. They stayed with
There were fictitious situations that happened, but when there was something that was very realistic that happened, it was
a similar result.
Yeah, similar result. So I liked that. And then there's this new show on ABC called Scandal. Have you seen it?
No, I don't watch anything on ABC, NBC, or CBS.
So ABC, that show has a Republican president.
Right.
And
I'm sure he's the worst thing that ever happened.
No, actually, no. He's he's a good guy. Like
I'm surprised.
You root for him as a president.
Okay. I didn't think we were allowed to have Republicans like that.
No. You root for him as a president.
Right.
I can only equate his appeal as like a white Barack Obama, the way that he's kind of appealed in the youngness, the youth, the vitality of him. But you get frustrated by all the people around him, though. Like you're like, argh. But the show Scandal is really good. It's really good. You probably won't like it just because it's such a Hollywood type show.
And I don't watch those stations because the dribble that I see on them, it's appalling, the stuff that they run, and I have a problem with that. I mean, I watch kids at work watch some of this stuff, especially on ABC Family and stuff like that. And the sexual situations that they put the young people in.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that is out of line. That's not the kind of thing that a station like ABC that has ties to such people should be doing. You know, they should be doing more wholesome stuff. That's my opinion.
There is a TV show called The OC.
Okay.
And it was a high school drama.
Right.
And if you watched that show, I only saw, I think, 1 or 2 episodes of it, and it was such an eye roller, like, oh my god. But then like, I went to a football game at the high school that I worked at, and you just watched, people watched, and the girls, the boys, and the adults
acted like the show.
Were mimicking behaviors of the show, and you're just like, good. I was like, oh my god, this is disgusting. And then I just kind of got turned off to all of that teenage
stuff,
drama. Yeah, it's like, because I look at those shows and I look at, there's maybe 1 or 2 that I could be interested in watching, but they remind me of trashy romance novels.
Yeah.
You know, except that there's
and they
not
keep
as
putting
descriptive sexual scenes. It's, you know,
and did they focus on young
dialogue?
Did they focus on young people?
The TV shows? Yes. Yeah.
See, that's what turns me off, because kid, you know, you only get one chance. I know this is going to come as a shock to some of you, especially on the West Coast, but you only get one chance to be a child. Now, you could get to my age and still be childlike, but once you're out of school, kids, you work for somebody the rest of your life. Okay, and we should be encouraging those kids to that precious, that wonderful golden time when you're young. We should be encouraging our kids to be young and enjoy that, savor that period of time, because you know it goes all too soon, and by the time once it's gone, it's gone. You know what I mean? And you know, and some people spend the rest of their lives trying to get it back, and you can't get it back.
No, you can't relive childhood.
You have to go with your life and you know, live what is dealt to you. I guess that's what you have to do. Any event, so be that as it may. So those are that we covered everything pretty much last week.
We covered everything last week, yeah.
Yeah, except for the thing with Rob Reiner, which I was and I really enjoyed Sleepless in Seattle. I've watched it a few times, and I've watched American President a lot of times, and I love the music on it. You know, it's just really good.
I've seen Sleepless in Seattle a couple of times, I think. I just haven't watched it recently because there was because Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks did like another 2 or 3.
Did they really?
Yeah.
You've Got Mail or something like that?
You've Got Mail, yeah, they did that, and that was so similar to Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, see, that's what you got to worry about. I was just like, you always got. See, what happens too often when people make sequels is they try to redo the things that worked in show 1 in show 2. They fail to realize that what the people want to see is a continuation, not a copy.
Well, it wasn't a sequel. It wasn't a sequel. It was
but whether they call it a sequel or not, it's those 2 actors. We pick up them from the other show.
Yeah, it's just, I was like,
So anyway, and even and even if that one wasn't planned as a turkey, even though that one wasn't planned as a sequel, that's what I find is one of the problems with sequels. They too often, rather than find new areas to plow, they try to plow we had a car chase now and they really liked it, so let's do that again. No, you should do something new. Take us a new place. We like the characters. Now we want to see the characters in new situations and how do they respond and things like that. So anyway, that's my...
Well, if you ever want an example of a horrible sequel, you have to watch the movie Blues Brothers and then the movie Blues Brothers 2000.
Right.
Blues Brothers 2000, it's a horrible sequel. I mean, the storyline is just not... I mean, it's just horrible. But you can't look at it as any... You have to go with it with such an open mind as when you watch the Blues Brothers. I mean, that movie was so out there for its time at the time it was made.
Yeah, and it was really just an extension of a skit on Saturday Night Live.
So when you watch Blues Brothers 2000 and you see these, you're just like, oh my god, really? But you watch it because they have good music and and I mean they have good artists come in and sing, and probably half the people, there's a big ending scene where they have this big half those people in that band are dead, I'm sure of it by now, But then it's just the music is great, and then they have the 20-minute car crash scene, chase with the cops and the anyway. At one point, you're just pretty sure that they're taking cars and shooting them off of a catapult to have them crash into each other.
Right.
It's like it's pointless to the movie, but you just laugh.
Well, a lot of times, and you see this, especially. You can be sitting in the movie theater and you're seeing the coming attractions, and in some of these movies are going right to DVD. I mean, they're never they're too stupid to even be or whatever the word is. And so I mean, there's still a tremendous amount of, because we're turning out so much stuff because people have found out that I can do that. I can sell it into DVD. Okay, and so I can recoup my money.
Some places are just going right to there's a couple of shows that are you can only see on like Netflix.
Right, it's
like I think Arrested Development.
It's a Netflix production or something like that. HBO does stuff like that too.
Netflix Arrested Development used to be on Fox, and it ran for 2 or 3 seasons, and it's kind of gotten a cult following, and then they stopped it for whatever reason. I think they brought it back for 1 more season, and then they changed it, and then they just kind of stopped production on it. Well, Netflix picked it up, and I think that Netflix is running like 10 brand new episodes, like newly taped. It's not like old episodes never, filmed but never shown. They're brand new episodes, and a lot of the people are really into that, so.
Well, I mean, Netflix has a lot of neat stuff. I mean, I definitely go through it.
Okay.
Should we?
Yes.
Okay, so let me see now.
Now
What does this say? This says 11:50. That's approximate. And you know why I have to do that? Because on the last show I said up and down, and I have done it earlier than that. So I'm going to put 11:50 up so I can put the little thing up. Okay, so now, so this is. We have the 20 points of the Wizard 2016 campaign, and we have the cabinets. Where do we start, and how do you want to do it?
Well, let's start with the cabinet.
Okay, go ahead.
Secretary of Treasury, we have nobody.
We haven't picked anybody
yet. We haven't picked anybody yet. Secretary of Defense is going to be someone from within.
I guess.
That we just haven't, or we haven't found a candidate.
No, we're not. We haven't found any, but nobody's come to our attention yet.
Attorney General is Rudy Giuliani.
Yes, excellent.
Secretary of Energy, head of the EPA, Sarah Palin.
Right.
Secretary of Transportation, you said, do we need one? I think the last time we went through this list, Adam was here and said that they're in charge of infrastructure of the roads or interstates and whatever. So I think it's necessary to have somebody there.
Okay, so we'll have to look into getting somebody there.
Yeah. Secretary of Commerce, Small Business Administration, you said Mitt Romney.
Okay, so that's good? Still okay?
It's okay. Well, who was it before?
Donald Trump, your favorite.
Mitt Romney is much better than Donald Trump.
Okay.
Even though I'm a little, I would say I'm a little iffy about Mitt Romney, but my only exposure to his financial thing has been what I heard from the news media and stuff.
Right.
So I'm sure that's skewed.
Right.
We'll have to see. Press Secretary Mark Levin.
And Mark Levin is a gentleman. He's on radio. He's also head of the Landmark Legal Foundation. He's a practicing attorney. Very
He's
conservative
just a smart,
guy.
well-spoken.
Smart, very well-spoken.
Head of the FBI, which is to be recommended by the Attorney General.
Right.
And then you have Sheriff Joe. He's that guy from Arizona, right?
Yes.
Okay. Head of the CIA, chosen from within.
Yeah, because I think that with an agency like the CIA, as dangerous as the CIA is, and they are
the only people who would know the full scope and operation of the CIA would be someone who comes from within.
That's right.
Because if you bring someone from the outside in,
they're never going to find out.
Right. So you have to.
Nobody's ever going to tell them. So you want to have somebody in there that knows what's going on.
National Security Advisor, to be recommended by the CIA, FBI, and Attorney General. And we said that all 3 of those have to agree on the recommendations.
Right. Should be unanimous.
Secretary of State John Bolton.
John Bolton, and if you may not be familiar with him, but he does appear on TV. He was an ambassador, and he would fit in with our 20 points. He's that kind of a guy.
Ambassador to the UN. How do we benefit from having one? Well, you got to have somebody. Just gotta have somebody. Like you said, put
Chris
somebody.
Christie.
No, we got a good one for him.
Oh, which one does he get?
He was gonna be labor.
No, no, no. That's oh no. Oh, I said Chris Christie.
Yeah.
I meant that other guy for the UN.
What other guy?
The guy on the Morgan and Morgan.
Oh, Governor Christ. Former
Chris.
Governor Christ.
Right,
yeah, he'd be good.
Send him to the UN. He'll fit right in.
I think he'd be good. Okay, we should write that down.
Yes. Okay.
Give me a pen. Okay. Vice President is going to be Bill Whittle.
Oh yeah, I would love to have Bill Whittle as Vice President. He probably wouldn't accept that. He probably want to be president. But the idea is, you don't want to have somebody as good as Bill Whittle wrapped up in a job like the president, which is it's too constraining. When you got a guy that can talk like Bill Whittle, you want him out there traveling around the country the whole time that you're elected, selling that message, communicate that message, because he has a way of saying things and communicating them that people can understand.
So why wouldn't you want him to be your press secretary?
No, I want the press. No, because I need a guy like Bill Whittle to go out across the country and talk to people and educate them about the good things in America and how it works and la-di-da and all this kind, make speeches around the country. Whereas the press secretary, he's stuck in Washington or wherever I am,
right? And
he comes out and he deals with the press. And I want somebody, A, that the press is not going to really be happy with to begin with, and B, someone that will explain to them that these chairs are given to you to do a job. And as you lie, that chair is going to be empty and filled with somebody else. And Mark Levin could do it.
Secretary of Education is going to be Tom Bach.
Right, former
superintendent of schools.
That's
from
right.
Wherever he's from. Secretary of Health and Human Services is Dr. Ben Carson.
Yes. I want to keep Ben Carson's name out there in front of everybody because he's that black gentleman I told you about that gave that great prayer breakfast speech. Okay. The ground is still shaking with him. You know.
Excuse me. Secretary of Homeland Security, Angel's roommate, we're going to give him a name, Mr. J.
Mr. J? Okay, good.
That's what my nephew calls him, Mr. J.
Okay.
Secretary of Housing and Urban Development is Sandra Erickson.
Sandra Erickson, who is, yes, let me admit.
She's a family member.
She's a family member, but she's first class and she could pass anybody's checking.
Secretary of the Interior, a top sportsman.
Yes, in other words, I think it's important to have somebody like, somebody that's a sportsman, somebody that has really been out there. Teddy Roosevelt was great, and he built all those parks because he used to go out and be in them. Everybody that you got in these positions now, they never leave Washington, D.C. They never.
Right,
I want to bring somebody
someone who goes camping.
That can camp and hunt and shoot and do all that stuff.
Who understands that the importance of the land, and it's not.
Yes.
It was originally created. These parks and these national parks were created and forest preserves were created to preserve the land, and now they're being used for political statements.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they're taking huge expanses of states' land, and that's not right.
Secretary of Labor, we decided was going to be Chris Christie.
Chris Christie, because he has that union profile.
Oh, yeah.
Because
we said that the Secretary of Labor is going to corral the unions. That's you want to talk to the president or have a meeting with the president about whatever your union's got issues with, or have a meeting with anybody in Congress, you have to get it cleared through the Secretary of Labor.
That's right.
Secretary of Veterans Affairs is Oliver North.
Now, I chose him because of his dedication to Ronald Reagan, his dedication to the veterans. He's one of the few people that's constantly over in Afghanistan and Iran and Iraq, working with those soldiers, caring for them, and he has a great military background, and that would make sense.
White House Chief of Staff? Me.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Sure? It's a horrible job.
That's okay.
Okay.
Teaching's kind of horrible sometimes, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a thankless job.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's, you have to look for gratitude in odd ways.
Okay.
Office of Management and Budget, Lou Dobbs.
Excuse me. Lou Dobbs.
Lou Dobbs.
Who has been a financial person, a commentator, and involved in the financial markets for years and years and years. And because, and people might say, you have a lot of, not celebrities, but you have visible people in these positions. Because these are leader positions. And I need a guy that can go on TV and say things, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, excuse me, and people understand him. So that's why Lou Dobbs, he's perfect for that.
What's QC? That's a new one.
QC? Oh, I put that in. So that's somebody that wants quality control. Somebody that kind of watches over everything. And so that's why I put that down there.
And that's...
told T.
Is that your baby?
Yeah, it's my baby. Now, I don't
quality
know.
control will be given to the First Lady.
Yes, I like that. That's good. If she wants it. Now, I don't know if I can get through these. What do we have? This is
3 minutes.
3 minutes? Okay, here we go. These are the 20 campaign ideas and commitments that I put together, and we matched them up.
As much of 20 as we can get in 3 minutes.
Instead of czars, we will have limited commissions to make suggestions on how to deal with problems. 2, we will deal with all problems in ways that are best for the country, the whole country, no specific group. No more racial or ethnic divisions. Ethnic divisions. We are all Americans. Those unhappy with this can move any way that they would like. Okay?
That's very true.
Yes. Okay. We will strive to help all people participate in the American dream. 5, Americans do not seek handouts. They seek assistance to be free of handouts. All of our actions will be guided by that principle. Okay. Number 6. Public sector unions will not be allowed to negotiate with anyone they provide campaign cash to. In any case, as money to. In any case where they do, representatives of the people will have to agree to any contract. No one who benefits from any union contract will be allowed to negotiate without a representative of the American people. Public sector unions shall collect their own dues. 7. As president, I will meet with a Democrat and a Republican from each house once a week, every week I am in office. 8. I will take no vacations of any length that prevent me from doing my job. 9. I will pay for all my personal vacation expenses myself. 10. As part of my job, I will meet with the governors of all the states on a monthly basis in groups to be worked out, because you can't, you
can't have all. Well, no, I think you've had all 50. I think there's points where all 50 governors have been around.
Yeah, but you can't, you can't really focus. 11. I will make no executive order that is not explained to the people beforehand. 12. I will set up a commission to review all federal regulations and remove those that harm manufacturing, job growth, or the people. I will rely more on education, this is key, more on education than legislation. 13. I will not support any divisive regulations that make life for the American people harder. Gas prices are coming down. Okay? I am committed to moving as many people from unemployment insurance to work as possible. Americans work for what they get, and that's what makes true Americans the great people that they are. I will use or install cameras in the Oval Office and the conference rooms to make sure that live feeds are available on the web 24/7. I will protect and defend the Constitution and the ideals the founders stood behind. I will meet with the press corps every other Friday afternoon. I will only travel with a full complement of staff when absolutely necessary, and will accept the idea that I am working 24/7. All financial assistance will require some type of service based on the ability of the receiver. I will not pretend to know everything, but I will surround myself with people who have specific knowledge on required topics.
Yay.
Okay, so that's it. And I think we have to
We've
go.
gotta go.
Okay, here is No More Sad Songs from Glenn Mann.
Do something good every day and volunteer at your local animal shelter.
Bye.
Another friend, and when you're gonna learn, it's getting near the end. There's no one left to love if no one is left at all. But do you know what's so hard to understand? And every day you're trying to find a better man. There you go again. sure do like to play the games, but you never change the rules. There's nothing left to dream of if nothing is left at home. Do you know what's so hard to understand? Every day you're trying to find a better man. Well, there you go again. You're running away from your heart. But can't you see that you're so afraid of love? I wish I knew just what it was that you're afraid of. There'll come a day when you'll have to take the chance to live your life. Well, that day may never